Hanging.
Staying at
Probably,
home, trying to be safe, right?
probably the same thing you're doing, I bet.
Well, maybe
Nothing.
not the home studio. I was just showing everyone. Do you have pillows in your home studio to block the sound because you had to make it in 24 hours after they told you to evacuate a radio station?
Oh, Jesus. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I'm actually in my kids' playroom because they're doing school in my areas.
Okay. So they've overcome that
Yeah,
stuff. Like I'm
yeah.
doing. Yeah. How are they holding up, dude? Are they like they're doing school and making sure everything's on point right now?
Yeah, I think that they're like my oldest one is kind of like wants to hang out with his friends more in person, you know.
Mhm.
But it is what it is right now. He understands.
It's like we have our neighbor's kid. It's like we visit with them, social distance and everything, and she talks about I want to see my friends, but kids you just can't put them together because they'll start running and tackling each other and doing everything. So
Totally,
you got to play it safe.
totally.
What's the California vibe, Pete? That's where you're in LA right now.
I'm in LA. Yeah.
What's the
Um,
vibe, man?
it's very warm, so it's
Mhm.
been you know last week I got in the 80s and 90s pretty much all week, and I think it's going to be like that this week. So I mean, people are respecting the lockdown, but I think that people are itching to, the weather makes people, want to get out a little
Of
bit.
course,
So
of
I
course.
haven't really like my neighborhood. I haven't really like people walk around a little bit, but like it's just like people all respect it or whatever. So I don't know. But I think if I everybody feels differently. Everybody has a different breaking point. Different. I don't know. I think it's. I feel lucky that I have like a backyard, whatever, because I know that like it's not like that. You know what I mean? So like I have an appreciation for where it's at, but I do think that like as the weather changes across the country, I think that that'll be more difficult for people to at least stay indoors.
Absolutely. I mean, like over here, we saw the pictures from the beaches over in California and Florida and Georgia too, and it was like everyone might be going a litll fast right now.
Totally. It's
Yeah.
really weird because in LA the beaches are empty, so it's enforced and empty. And 30 minutes away in Orange County, they look packed. I've not obviously gone down there, but the pictures make it look packed.
Mhm.
So, and I have friends who are there, like yeah, like our neighbors are at the beaches and stuff. So, I don't know.
So like San Francisco around the pier, but right down the road, it's like it's a summer day.
That's what it looks like. So I don't really know. I think that like the issue with the U.S. is like we're rugged individuals, right? That's like what's built into the core of our being, and this is like the time when we really don't want rugged individualism. Everybody needs to go with the pack a little
Yeah.
bit.
Everybody needs to stick together on this one goal. Just one goal in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get all through this. Well,
So,
Pete, let's talk about some music, man.
yeah.
A little while ago, we played Check the Phone on DC101's, been featuring a bunch, our new segment, playing it all over the place, man. Got quite a buzz on this song with you and Cheap Cuts. So,
Oh, thank
how did
you.
it come together, man? Because you and the two guys in Cheap Cuts, it's a fun song. It relates to all of us. So, tell us about how this came to be.
Thanks. My kids made the shirt actually. I saw that question go up. Uh, um, so I'm relentlessly listening to music. I guess like a lot of other people out there and stuff. My friends are always sending me stuff, and I got sent the song by Cheap Cuts, and it's this idea that what's up Texas? Oh, is that Brazil? Is Brazil's here? We got like I've really loved this song by Baz Luhrmann like for a long time. It was big in the '90s. It's just basically it's a song called Sunscreen, and it's basically ironic and unironic advice that you could attach to your life, and it's a very irreverent song, and it's a song that I've tried to make for the past 10 years, and and I think an adult camp counselor might have helped them with this tie-dye shirt, just for the record. For whoever said they're really good at tie-dye. They might be, though. They might be good at tie-dye. But yeah, so I think that this song, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this is irreverent. This is something that we could do that could be fun. And we made it. And then, 6 months later, we're in quarantine and the world is where it's at. And it was like, oh my God, this song is like speaking to me all of a sudden now. And it made sense for us to put it out. I think that we live in this time where we, like I every once in a while, like when I'm like turning on and off Animal Crossing on the Switch, or when I'm like turning my phone off for the night, I catch a glimpse of myself in like the Black Mirror, like in the non-powered reflection in the device, and I'm like,
glass.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm like look like Tom Hanks in Castaway or something. Like I'm like, oh my God, I have been like to the brink of the end of the human existence on this device and back. You know what I mean? And it feels like I look like that too, and it's like a little bit terrifying. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like I've met so many of my friends and heard so many cool songs and seen so much cool art. So it's like one of those, like, it's like what television was when it first came around or whatever. Like, it's like, but like that, but like on Red Bull or something, or on like, on crack, you know what I mean? Because it's just like a jacked up version that is always there.
It's like you can have 15 emotions in the course of the first 6 minutes of your day or 6 minutes of your night before you go to bed, and it just gets you going in so many different directions all at once.
Totally. I mean, I think that I feel when I first wake up, I feel like really at ease and at peace, and then I like look at my phone and I start like going down the rabbit hole, and I'm like, and then the anxiety starts, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Absolutely. No, and then once you do it, you're like, I gotta stop doing this. I can't stop. But then you go back to it 10 minutes later and do it all over again.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's my entire life. That's what the song definitely was meant to be. You know what? I feel like I always do the same thing on these IG lives, and I'm gonna give you a different peek really quick.
Okay.
All right, so this is my kids' playroom. I never do them in here. You know what I mean? So this is, I don't know if you can see it. This is their favorite room in the playroom right here. It's this shelf right here, but it's actually like a little room.
Oh,
And they love it.
that's awesome.
I just wanted to do a different peek. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm always doing the same stuff. Okay, back to what you were saying. I'm sorry.
We got an exclude. No, that's awesome. Did you built into the house?
Yeah, totally.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, no, you said Lemon Sunscreen. It reminds me of that. It reminds me of Not a Surf Song, popular from back in the day. Like talking about life, but doing it in a song way. So it's different. It's got a cool vibe, and I like it, Pete. And I think you got another winner on your hands, my man.
Thank you, man. That's really nice. That's really kind.
Absolutely, brother. What's the are you going to do more stuff with the guys in Cheap Cuts? Like, you think you might be doing stuff with them down the road again?
I'd like to. There's at least one other song that we've been working on that we haven't finished. I think I'm gonna like record. I might record in my that little room in there used to be a vocal booth, so I might record it in that little room, and then from there we'll probably do one more song, and then I don't know. There's a part of me that like wants to do. I have like an album's worth of stuff, but it's kind of like all over the place. It's a bit patchworky, so like we will see whether that happens or doesn't happen. But I would like to.
Maybe, I mean, look, it's a thing with Fall Out Boy for many years now. You guys have had so many different sounds and so many different vibes going on. Maybe you take one chunk of vibe, another one, maybe some EPs could be the root,
Totally. Like it's like a quilt or something, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Patchwork quilt. There you go. There's the name of it, The Quilt with Pete Wentz. That could be the name of it going on. What is going on with Fall Out Boy? I'm assuming you've been talking to the guys and everything. Has this time off, like, this has been a scheduled time off before the Hella Mega Tour. Has this time off, have you guys rethought some things right now? Different ideas floating around?
Um, yeah, I mean, we had a plan to go on tour. And that obviously is in flux. Like the tour is still going to happen. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know that it happens in the same exact dates that it was planned to happen. Yeah, I mean, today's Patrick's birthday, so I feel like I was being asked about Patrick, and he has exactly the amount of internet presence that he wants to have. So if you want Patrick content, you have to just beg him next time you see him in person, and he'll maybe put some up, I guess.
He'll
Um,
pick up
I,
a bunch at once, and then that's it.
exactly. I try to
Yeah.
respect that and not put content up for him because I know he would do it if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's his birthday, and he's been in a happy mood when I've been talking to him, and he's psyched. And I'll pass along that anybody said happy birthday. And then, yeah, I mean, Joe put together a cool little cartoon that's been pretty cool. And then, I don't know. I mean, it's very easy to work in quarantine by myself and by like, because obviously you don't have to social distance from yourself. It's a little harder with the band. It all comes really from Patrick. A lot of it starts with Patrick musically, so like I'm sure he'll send stuff over when he's going, but I think that like it's gotta be inspired and purposeful, and we don't want to just ever put out stuff just to put out stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard other people say, Pete, like right now the music itself, the notes and everything comes super easy. The words, the inspiration can be really tough right now with everything going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough to nail a mood because, like, listen, um things change daily, and the things we feel, I feel all the feelings all the time, and that's always changing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's parts of me that like think that you look, I don't think that we need like musicians and entertainers to necessarily speak to exactly what we're going through, but it's hard to ignore, like, so it's like you can't really like escapist music is not maybe necessarily the answer. So like it's just like I think an interesting like hurdle to jump or whatever. But I think we'll get there. And I think that people are making really cool art. I've really been like loving the art that I've seen people making and whatnot.
I've seen dude, Instagram has been one of the best things. We're back to the phone. You see stuff
Totally.
on Instagram. People are so creative right now. And I think this might be the big avenue, where it's like, all right, let's do art. Let's do drawings. Let's do paintings. Let's just, make stuff and try something new out.
And I see people like outside of the box doing stuff, you know what I mean? And I think that that's really great because it's the time where the playing field is like slightly leveled because everybody's stuck in the same type of situation, you know what I mean? And so like it's been really fun. Like I really like seeing all the like visually creative stuff, like whether it's TikTok or whatever, like people that are making like basically like mini movies or whatever. Those are awesome. It's been really great to watch.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned it a few minutes ago. You're the new cartoon, Mondo Trash Show 3024, dude. I just watched a bunch of them last night.
Cool
Stuff, man.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I think that Joe's always had a really distinct sense of humor, you know what I mean? That I think would be hard to describe to somebody. And I think that this cartoon really embodies it, and it like you don't need to describe it, but like once somebody watches it, you get like a glimpse of like the mayhem, which I think is great. Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah. And there's actually I don't know if Joe put it in, if one of his drawers or something, Pete, but there's actually a DC101 reference in the second episode with Heavy Metal Parking Lot. I saw that last night. I'm like, they put it in there. That's awesome.
Sick. Yeah, I mean, it's all really Joe, so it probably came from Joe, honestly.
Yeah, there's tons of eggs in there. If everyone hasn't seen this yet, it just came out on Friday, and it's only like 5 to 6 minute episodes. So you got all 10 episodes, first season of Mondo Trash Show 3024. It's really funny stuff. So check it out on YouTube. It's really good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did you did the producing for it, Pete? Did you help write any of the episodes or anything?
I didn't help write anything. It was something that, I'd seen Joe been working on. We talked about it a bunch, and I wanted to help him, bring it into the world and support him in that way, and and create some infrastructure for him. So that's like basically like it's one of the things that I really like feel like from doing the label or doing whatever is like I like to be able to help someone pour gasoline on the fire that they have, and so that's what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying to do
awesome.
with Joe.
And then the other thing I wanted to ask you about was
Yeah.
you had a Snapchat project we had heard about last year. I didn't know if everything going on right now had put a pause on that, or if it was still moving forward, or what.
No, we're moving forward. I mean, the only real pause is we hadn't started shooting. We hadn't gone into production yet, and you
Mm-hmm.
literally can't go into production currently. But we have a schedule. We're meeting with directors via Zoom, and the episodes are all written, and I'm really really excited about it. I think that Hannah, the girl who wrote it, has really like a fantastically clever voice, and she's really 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 funny. Because I think that a lot of the mental health stuff that I've come upon and been pitched has always been a little after school specially, and this one is really irreverent and really because there's anyone who deals with mental health like is like it's funny and it's heartfelt and you love yourself and you hate yourself and everything in between, and I think that this really goes through all of that, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm excited for it to come out into the world. So I think that we will go into production. I want to say we'll be in production in August on the
Hope
current schedule. So yeah, hopefully that would cross our fingers on that. But yeah, we're chugging ahead right now.
that's cool that you say like you want to get a real look at it, like not an after school special, because I know exactly what you mean. It's like you just picture it going through a bad time, and then it all works out in the end, and the piano plays us off and everything. But I mean, mental health is such a big thing right now, Pete, and that's cool. You guys are going to take a real look at it, and
Yeah, and I think it like yeah, to me it's like I think about it in terms of like Larry David or something like that. Like you love the guy, you hate the guy, you empathize with the guy. You're like, oh my god, I see myself in it, and like that's obviously not necessarily like a mental health show, though there's aspects of it clearly. But
sure,
I think that it's important to show all those sides of it. You know what I mean? Like there's times when you're having a manic episode or something like that and you are like you step outside of yourself for a second and you're like this is like fucking hilarious, like my behavior is actually like really funny, like if it wasn't me I would be laughing at it.
sure. Sure. I mean, but again, you got to take a look at the real and all sides of it. So I think, and being on a different platform where shows aren't on Snapchat, I think this opens up a lot of possibilities, a lot of experimentation. So you could really, go in totally different directions with it.
Totally, I
Yeah.
hope.
Now, all right, Pete, I got two more things. I don't want to
Yep.
keep you today. You mentioned Animal Crossing earlier. Did you get a good price on turnips this week?
No, not yet. Well, I bought for 103 and I've only been offered 40, so I might have to cruise over to someone's island.
You got to go. You got to
Get on the exchange.
call up Hoppus or something and get on his
Yeah.
turn. And how's your house on there? Do you have it all done? Like, are you just at maintenance at this point, or what?
No, I mean, I'm like not, I guess, as far along as I should be. I've done my expansion. My 11-year-old kind of like makes fun of me because he's been done for a while, but like I'm so concerned with like weeding my island and stuff like that that like I'm like there's a part of my personality that's like very focused on details like that, and so yeah,
You got to
that's kind of
you got to
that's
keep
kind of where I get stuck. Yeah.
as long as it takes you. My she's been playing nonstop Heat. She loves it, so I need to get on
That's
it.
awesome.
I handed her the Switch. I'm like, honey, I bought this game. I want you to play because I'm going to play some other stuff. So here, enjoy. And the other
That's
thing, last
awesome.
thing, I have to ask you because we loved it. You did the Hella Mega commercial. It was you and Rivers and Billy Joe and Ric Flair. How was it working with the Nature Boy, dude? That looked fantastic.
Dude, he was that was awesome. Well, basically, so like when we were doing the tour, when we were getting the tour together, um, the the management of the tour was like, we're gonna give you the budget for the marketing budget. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, what could you do with this money? Like, what you could do, like a national campaign. You could, national TV campaign. It was like, oh, you can actually hire Ric Flair and he'll come hang out with you and say basically whatever you want him to say. And so after we did a photo shoot for Billboard, afterwards we went over to like this little like soundstage, and Ric Flair came and hung out and said all kinds of crazy stuff. That was like one of the best nights of the year for me. I mean, like, listen, 2020 is like not that hard to have the best night of the year. You know what I mean? Like if it's anything outside of quarantine. But yeah, that one was like a lot of fun. I guess it was actually in 2019, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Did Rivers know who he was? Because he looked like he had no clue who he was.
I think that's the look that Rivers always kind of has. Like I think I think he's distinctly aware of the situation, but I think that he it's like a little bit like when an alien landed on a planet and he's like, I don't totally understand the behavior of these other beings, but they seem peaceful enough.
He's a good dude. Every time I've talked to him, he's always been a great dude, but he's definitely on another level for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Pete, hopefully we get to see you end of the summer for the Hella Mega Tour. One way or another, we'll see you guys for sure.
Absolutely.
But everyone, again, check out the new cartoon from Fall Out Boy, Mondo Trash Show 3024. It's really funny. Hella Mega Tour on the horizon. Cheap Cuts too. Check your phone. Got to hear that song. Anything else I missed? Oh, buy turnips from Pete Wentz. He needs those bells. He needs them.
Please.
Pete, thanks so much, man. This was a lot of fun, dude. I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man.